Hey folks, hello. I'm Zach, and this is Paper Computer Games, and today we're going to be talking about paper computer games. Let's paper computer some games. Yeah, I'm trying to see if I can make the top 20 cringiest Zach intros of all time. I'm trying to beat my record. Trying to do that. So yeah. Hi folks. Today it's gonna be a short stream. My dad is coming home from the hospital soon, and I'm going to have to help. So, when he gets here, I will have to go, but and help out. But until that time, I will be here streaming with you guys. So hey, yeah, my dad's okay, thankfully. But yeah, hey Epic Worlds, hey Siren the Elf, hey the Kid Gamer. Hope your dad stays well. I hope so too. Thank you, Siren. Hey Bonkinator, how's it going? Epic World says, oh man, I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, could be a lot worse. Thankfully he is, sounds like he's doing okay and he's coming home, so, I'm not tremendously worried at the moment. Hopefully that is the correct response, but Bonkinator says, I've already got 15 minutes. Alright, well, thanks for joining us for 15 minutes then. Wait, what's wrong? Nothing. Don't worry, we're fine. I'm just telling you it's going to be a short stream, that's all. So yeah, let's do some Wiki-ing. Oh, I should put in my headphones, because that way I can put on some music and listen to it, and you guys can hear it too. And it won't cause weird echoey stuff to happen, as has happened in some of my past streams. I only realized that after looking it up. Okay, so yeah, let's put on some musica. All right, there we go. Bonkinator says, I love Wiki-ing. Hey, me too. Me too. What a coincidence. Yeah, isn't it great? We are up to 2,590 pages, almost 2,600 pages. Oh, I almost forgot. Now, I already got a request for I already got a request to react to something today. Summer the Elf says, I'm sadly going to step away from PCGs for a little bit because of my TCG project, but I will occasionally pop into the streams. That's cool, dude. Like, hey man, like, I don't even think of that as stepping away from PCGs for a little bit. I just think of it as, focusing on whatever, interests you, right? Like focusing most of your energy on a TCG project does not mean you're any less part of the PCG community. Unless you want to be. It's up to you. But, yeah, just saying. Oh, hey, Eldritch Theater. Eldritch Theater says I woke up just in time. Yes, indeed. Thanks for being here. Epic World says you don't have to react to my book if you just want a wiki. Well, you requested it, so might as well do it. I am down to do whatever. So let's do it real fast. And after that, we can wiki. So, yeah, let's go to papercomputergames.com. Let's go to shop. Let's go down here to books, which in Spanish would be libros, or the fun way to say that is libritos. Just put ito at the end of anything in Spanish and it makes it, I guess it makes it cute or little or whatever. It's kind of like the equivalent of like saying like, you know how like the word for dog in English is dog, but you can say doggy. It's kind of like that. But except that in Spanish, the difference is you can do that for like literally every word. You can say doggy in Spanish because dog in Spanish is perro, but doggy would be like perrito, which I will tell you, Via says all the time, just nonstop. Like there is no conversation with Via that takes place that does not involve the mention of the word perrito. That is the name of her starship in Star Trek Online, is the USS Perrito. Anyway, enough. But yeah, you can also do that with literally any other word, like any other. Like you could go like, I don't know, like. Anyway, that aside. Blankenator says, what time do you stream usually? Dude, I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. I don't have a regular schedule right now. Sorry, Neil says, how do you know Spanish? Long story. I mean, basically, I learned it in college, and then after that, I had coworkers at work, and I just always practiced it with them. That takes effort, by the way. You can't just it's hard to get yourself to talk to somebody in Spanish. Like, just because you've taken Spanish classes, you are not going to feel confident actually speaking to a random person in Spanish. You have to force yourself to do it. You're like, and there's like that moment of like hesitation of like, wait, man, like, should I actually do this? I should probably just say it in English. That's easier, right? And you have to be like, no, say it in Spanish. And you're like, but I don't know how to say it in Spanish. What if I say it wrong? No, say it in Spanish. And this is the dialogue you have to have with yourself inside your head. And then you have to say it in Spanish. And once you get into the habit of doing that, it gets easier. After that, I visited Costa Rica for a month and a half or so, and most recently, I met Via, who is from Costa Rica. The fact that I went to Costa Rica and now I met Via, like that's just a coincidence, because I met Via at work at my current place of work, and yeah, now I'm just talking to her all the time, and she talks a lot of Spanish to me, so it's been incredible practice. I'm getting really, really good at it. Like for many years, my Spanish was sort of slowly declining, but like now that I know Via, it's like it's kind of like working its way back up there. So yeah, enough about that rant. Epic Rose says I'm wikieing Prisons of Hell right now. Sweet. I don't even know what that is, but that's awesome. Megu says, hey, Zach. Hey, how's it going? Hey, Wolf7. Yes. Thanks for joining us. Another stream. Let's go. Yes, indeed. Okay, so what was I doing? I was going to react to Epic's book, which I have not... Well, let's merge. Where's the book? Here it is. Big Book of PCG Ideas by Epic Worlds PCG. By the way, like how I've like upgraded the PCG shop. I mean, this is a while ago. I did this months ago, so I've definitely told you about this before. But just want to point, I'm just admiring the fact that, below this is Epic Worlds PCG, and if you click on that, that takes you to his shop. And here is Books and Prose, and if you click on that, it takes you to the list of all the PCG books. Like, that is not default. I had to like get all up into the coding stuff, and mind you, I know nothing about coding. I just had to like figure stuff out. And yeah, I think ChatGPT actually helped me figure that out a little bit. But yeah, so yeah, what am I talking about? Yeah, let's download this. Epic says, okay, just finished wikieing the game. If you want to see it, it's super funny and dark. Keep in mind the book is not finished. I just wanted to upload a basic copy of it. All right, cool. Bonkinator says I gotta go. All right, thanks for joining us, Bonkinator. Yeah, this is the other update to the site. When you download something on the PCG shop, it says, "Thank you, Zachary, you PCG master," and also your PCG order is confirmed. Zuvak approves. Yeah, I'm happy with this. I also added this like. This is the texture. This is actually an image from one of Chris's classic PCGs, but I'm just using it for like the texture of it to give this sort of like PCG-ish kind of flavor. Up here, this is like art from one of Yak's PCGs. But yeah, I'm gonna have to hit refresh because sometimes if you don't hit refresh, the download link doesn't appear. I still don't see the download link. Come on. Come on. What is going on? Huh. Do I actually have to check my email? Ah! Oh, whoops. Wait, that's from my last video. Yeah, so, here it is. View your order. Where's my download link? If I just refresh this again, will it show up? There we go. Okay, here we go. After that, like, this is like, I gotta say, this is the only time I've had that mishap with the PCG shop. HMB says, Zach, you just showed everyone your address. I did? Where did I do that? Oh, well, it wouldn't be the first time. It would be far from the first time. But yeah, okay. Zach, can you look at PCG leaks in the Discord later? Yeah, feel free to remind me. Epic says he just done it before HMB. He doesn't really care. Yep, you know me. Siren Nail says, it's crazy because everyone will probably be using ChatGPT in the next decade. Dude, like, at this point, I feel like everyone's already, like, using ChatGPT. Like, in some capacity. Like, everyone's either, like, at least most people, like, Via still hasn't. But I feel like everyone's at least messed around with it, or is using it in some capacity. I've heard, I was reading an article just the other day about how a scientist, like, ChatGPT came out and he's like, oh my god, I can use this to write research papers. And like he still does the actual research, but he uses ChatGPT to like just generate the massive text, and then he just like goes over and edits it. And it's just a massive time saver. And I mean, there obviously that could be abused, but I think that's a net positive because like that is like saving time, like science, right? Saving scientists a lot of time legitimately means our technology could evolve faster, our science could evolve faster. We could like come up with cures for diseases faster than we would have otherwise. Like if every time a scientist publishes a paper, they have to spend like days writing a scientific paper, when you could get ChatGPT to do it in 20 minutes, those are days that, you know, are wasted. The paper could have been published already, other scientists could have read it, and they could be working on doing another thing with it. The scientific community is kind of like the PCG community in that everyone looks at everyone else's work, they see what everyone else is doing, and they're like, oh, huh, that inspires me, that gives me an idea. And then they go work on another thing based on that, or like, hey, that answers a question, or that asks a question, maybe I can go make another study that answers that question, or like that explores that question. So yeah, rant aside, that is really, really cool, and I hope more researchers do that, and I hope it makes everything go faster. But yeah, HMB says now Slurm can go to his house and slurm him. Never. Eldridge says he's shown his address like 10 times. Yeah, at least. Wolf says, I know where you live now. Indeed you do. Eldridge says, me dying on the operation bed because my doctor performing the surgery graduated medical school using ChatGPT. I don't think we're ever going to get to that point. I hope. Well, okay, let me put it this way. Like, if we get to that point, it'll be because ChatGPT gets so good that that'll be okay. Like right now what we have is ChatGPT in its infancy. You know, if like let's compare ChatGPT to the internet, right? Like if think of how the internet is now versus how the internet was in like 1995, right? Like the only way to access well, maybe not the only way, but like the main way to access the internet was America Online. You couldn't like, you had to like wait for it to dial up and like downloading a freaking picture took like minutes sometimes, and like watching a video, like dude, that was just like, you could watch like the simplest videos, they had to be like 30 seconds long maximum. There was no YouTube, like not comparable. So what we have now is like that of ChatGPT is like that era of ChatGPT. What ChatGPT is going to look like 30 years from now, I don't know what it's going to look like, but it is going to be incomprehensible to us today. It is going to be something totally different than the ChatGPT we see today. I do think eventually, at some point, ChatGPT can get so good that it will be able to reliably teach you how to be a doctor. Like, and I think we're like already like kind of close to that point. Like already ChatGPT can reliably teach you Spanish. You can ask it questions. Like I'm sorry. I feel like I have to demonstrate this right now. I feel like I have to show you what I'm talking about. Okay. Chat.openai.com. And mind you, this isn't even the dang it. I hate how that happens. Yes, continue with Google, blah blah blah. Okay. So, here's the thing. I'm trying to learn Spanish. Please quiz me on verb conjugation. And what's... Bueno, let's start with some verbs. Please conjugate the following verbs in the present tense. Okay. These are all real verbs. This is all correct. Hablar, to speak, comer, to eat, vivir, to live. Let me try doing one wrong. Let me say, yo hable. This is incorrect. The correct one would be yo hablo. Tu hablis. Él hablaba. Nosotros hablamos. And yeah, let's do that for now. Good effort, but the correct conjugations for the present verb of hablar are yo hablo, tú hablas, él habla, nosotros, nosotras hablamos, vosotros, vosotras habláis, ellos hablan. And for the other verbs, this is all correct. This is all correct. So it knows exactly what it's doing. It's able to respond to you. It's able to remember what you said. It's able to understand the questions you're asking and respond to them. It really is a teacher. It really can teach you this. And if it can teach you this, why can't it teach you surgery? And it might take a while, but we will get there someday. And, it'll be a while before we learn to put our trust in it to that degree. But over many years, as it proves itself again and again and again, after it gets better. Because, right now, it's not at that level. Right now, it messes up enough that it's not a good idea. But eventually, we'll get there. And yeah, I think that will, it'll sort of make medical school almost obsolete in a way. Anyway, AI rant aside. What is chat saying? I'm sorry. Siren says, I agree though ChatGPT can help research papers a lot. Yeah, for sure. Eldritch Theater says, those are some of the good things about the recent AI resurgence, but I don't like AI art booming because it takes jobs from animators and artists. That is a complicated thing. That is a whole complex topic, and I do have mixed feelings about that. I mean, on the one hand, you're right, it does, but on the other hand, that is what technology always does. Every technology humanity has ever invented takes jobs away from somebody, because that's what technology is. It lets you do things that you couldn't do before, and it lets you do things easier and faster. Think about a car. A car is a technology, and it takes jobs away because before you had to have a horse and a carriage, right? And to have the horse and the carriage, you had to have people to, take care of the horse, to raise the horse, to train the horse. You had to have people to clean the roads from when the horse poops on the street. It was this whole ecosystem, this whole industry built around horses and carriages. And all of a sudden the car comes along and eventually, bam, horses and carriages are gone except for a few edge cases. But that's a good thing, right? The jobs are gone, but the economy rearranged itself. Our world, our sort of world just kind of rearranged itself. But to give more of a more direct thing with art, okay? The other example I have is photography, right? back in the day, like, all right, way back in the day, before photographs existed, if you wanted to have a picture of yourself, you had to have a person paint it for you, right? Those were artists, and they were being paid to paint a picture of you. And that was a whole industry. You know, like, artists had to be paid to paint portraits all the time. And then all of a sudden photography comes out, and there's no way artists can compete with that. There's, like, photographs are just, they do it like that. They do it better than any artist could conceivably hope to do. And it's true, they totally wiped out that sector of the art industry. But that sort of ended up being a good thing, though, right? For one thing, I mean, it's kind of a good thing that we have photography now, because first of all, people can do stuff that they never could have been able to do. Like, the idea that you can just take a selfie of yourself and post it online, or you can, like, if something is a danger to you, you can quickly take a picture of it and send it to somebody. Like, imagine trying to do that in the 1800s, and you're like, okay, yeah, I would like to hire somebody to come paint a picture of the snake that just bit me in time for the hospital to identify it and get, you know, like, it's not practical, but a picture is practical. So it's even good for the art world, because, I mean, really think about it for a second. You as an artist, do you want to be the guy that that does nothing but paint a person's face super realistically, and you're paid to do that? I would argue that you as an artist, that's not what you want to be doing. What you want to be doing is you want to be creating worlds from your imagination. Or sometimes you do like to draw stuff that you want, but, you know, you want it sort of to come more from your creativity, your imagination. So I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing that sort of went away. Now, is that how things are going to play out with AI art? Maybe. And honestly, I don't really know how it's going to play out. But I do think that human society is very adaptable. We tend to find ways to adapt to new situations. I think ultimately, like, artists are not going away because people like drawing things and people like seeing the things other people draw. I don't think that is ever going to go away. I don't think that can be replaced, because it is a human desire. It is a human need to draw, to create, and I don't think that's going away. How is it going to play out? I don't know, and it's going to be interesting to see, but I tend to be on the positive side. I think that this is going to be a net positive. Once the smoke clears 10 years from now, it'll be okay. I think it'll be okay for the artists. I really hope so. But yeah, okay, sorry. Enough rant. I need to respond to chat. But yeah, Siren says PCG creators are scientists. I agree. Yeah, totally, absolutely. Mega Oof says, Zach, I'm going to mail soup to you. I mean, you're welcome to do that. I'm probably not going to eat it. It'll probably be, like, cold and bad by the time it gets here. It'll probably get all moldy, but I mean, you can try if you like. Eldritch Theater says, I think ChatGPT and other AI programs are really interesting to see, even if they're in their, like, fetus days. There are big goofs like how to draw a circle, but there's a lot of really cool things. Yeah, absolutely. It's super, super interesting. It's interesting to... Pardon me. Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's totally not there yet, but yeah, it's super fascinating. It's a, you know, what a time to be alive, right? Siren says, I have to go work on my project now. It's pretty fun talking. Bye. All right, thanks for joining, Siren. Eldritch says, ChatGPT is scratching the surface with AI and automated internet learning and stuff. Yeah, absolutely. And it can be a real lifesaver, because those days wasted when scientists have to write a massive paper proving and showing their discoveries on the next COVID can be automated in a snap with ChatGPT. Yeah, totally. I mean, yes. Yeah, and like the thing is, in technology, anytime we come up with something that, you know, replaces something a person did before, it not only replaces it, but it goes further, and it lets you do things that it ever could. Like, think of what photography, like, I think I gotta go. You know what? Yeah. Yeah, I gotta go. Sorry, guys. Thank you guys for like. I might try and come back and stream later, but for now I gotta go help my folks. Thanks for watching, folks. You folks are the best as always, and PCG later. Bye.